Oh, what's up? What's up? What's up? Surprise! I am here. I'm back and I'm live. Woo! Listen. Now y'all know how I do it. Y'all know I have a set of interviews coming out, and then I get busy and I'm gone on the road or something like that. But I'm back with some more interviews, right? So this is my first interview back in action. Thank y'all who always support Also Dope Network in some type of fashion, whether it's me interviewing somebody or whether it's me photography. I just took pictures at another at a mural. Look, black folk, we can't say mural, we say murals. Y'all already know how we do it. But I took some pictures at a mural presentation last Wednesday, and the pictures came out fire. So thank y'all for everybody who be supporting me. Thank y'all for everybody who be booking me. So as of right now, and I don't know when my interview's coming out. So you just gotta stay tuned because they gonna pop up, they gonna be live, and I'm gonna have the best guest ever. Okay, so on today's guest, I have my dog. I call him my little big brother because y'all know I'm elderly, but my little big bro's making me feel so tiny. Y'all give it up for OGD.
Peace, family. What's
Dominique
going down?
Macklemore.
What's going down?
How are you?
Whew, I am blessed, highly favored. That's the
In the
best way to
name of
put
the
it.
Lord. In
In the
the
name.
name of the Lord.
That's the best
Hallelujah.
way. Yeah, that's
Man,
the best way to put it.
go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
I am Dominique McLemore, also known as OGD. To some, I'm known as Dizzy, depending on how far we go back. You know what I'm saying? I am a fine and graphic artist hailing out of Shreveport, Louisiana, graduate of Northwestern State University. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, just out here doing the art thing, man. Out here trying to get it out the mud like everybody else. Creatives unite,
Most
spread
definitely.
love, one painting at a time.
Oh, most definitely. So how long have you been doing art?
I have been doing art since the ripe age of 10 years old. I tell the story all the time, man. I used to draw like crazy when I was younger. I had a Sega Genesis, and I used to just pause the game when I was playing NBA jams and other games, and I would draw them mid dunk or something like that. And I have pictures or a picture of me passed out on the bed taking a nap, and I got all my little doodles around me, and it's been going strong ever since then. It's just been in me, and I'm finally taking it serious as a professional, and it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful journey to learn.
That is awesome. Like I have been a fan of yours for some years. Because I remember when you used to do painting and poetry, if I'm not, am I mistaken?
No, you're not.
I see. Look, that's what I'm talking about. So yeah, so I have been before we even met. I have been watching you do your thing for from several years. So now that I know you and we're close, and you done met my mama, like it's really awesome to see your growth.
I
Um,
appreciate that.
uh,
Thank you.
look, I don't just do interviews. I have to give people their flowers. Like, and
I appreciate that.
you most definitely deserve it. Um, so what type of paintings do you do? Or
I
what
like to.
if you had to put yourself in a genre for your paintings, what type of paintings or what's your genre for your paintings?
It's the medium is mainly acrylic, but I've become expansive outside of just that one medium. My most recent show that I did, Humanity, I actually experimented with pastel chalk and just multimedia resin, the resin pouring and actually putting objects and different types of things into my artwork. Normally, I just work with canvas.
Mhm.
Um, as far as a genre, I would say impact art. That's what I always.
Ooh, wait a
That's
minute.
what
Let
I've
me
named it.
hold on, bro. Let me write that down. Let me write. Look, that's my genre. We're gonna talk about. Say, bro, move your tripod over so we can see your whole face.
Okay, let me slide. Let me
Yeah,
slide.
there you go. There you go. Cause they look, they might be inboxing me. Is your bro single? Look, I let them know. I got the whole face. No, but I never thought about the impact art. That's fire.
Yeah, it's if I had to put a definition on it, I would say abstract realism, but
Mhm.
it's art that I feel like impacts the world. It impacts the person. The viewer doesn't just see something and move on to the next piece. It makes them think. It makes them have a slew of emotions, and that's what I figure is my job as an artist. I want to invoke thought in somebody. I want to make them feel a way, whether it's good or bad. It's my
Mhm.
job to make people remember that you have a brain and that you need to use it, and it's not
Right.
just doing what you told, doing what you see, or monkey see, monkey do, whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
We got a brain for a reason, man. We have to use it as humans. We gotta, what I'm saying. We gotta be inspired, be motivated, get angry, get upset, feel
Yeah.
sad.
Oh
So
yeah. You got to use it before you lose it. I get it. I
there you
get it.
go.
Okay, so while we are discussing your impact. Look, listen. You know I take stuff and run with it. Okay. So why are we of impact art, right? What can you tell me off the top of your head?
Mm.
What is the most impactful painting that you feel like you've done?
Oh man, the Jay-Z Basquiat piece, like
Oh, because I got it in my hallway.
that
I got that print in my hallway. Yes.
that
Yes.
painting affected so many people in so many ways. Just the day that I debuted it to the world, because it had been done for a while, and
Mhm.
people had, shout out to Mr. James Thor, the purchaser of that painting, one of my first collectors, I will say, and he is he had it hanging up in the office space that's in downtown Shreveport. People have texted me and called me and say, bro, it's so crazy how your artwork is hanging up in this business, because it's a business dedicated to people who have black owned business or just business in general, and just to people to see it and feel so moved that they could hit me up and say, man, this is so dope, and I love looking at it, and
Yeah.
it inspires me and makes me feel a way. And then when I put it in critical mass, which was the public artist call for Shrek this year, people sitting at the restaurant adjacent, looking
Right.
through the
Right.
window and
Right.
saying, who did that work right there? I need to
Yeah.
know who did that work. And it's like people coming up to me and they, oh man, this is excellent. This is, getting all these different compliments, whether it's just, I like your style of art, and
Mhm.
or somebody being like super flowery about it, and oh, the colors and the lines and the dramatics and all this stuff. And it's
Mhm.
just like, man, I dreamed of having them type of conversations,
Yeah.
or just being able to say I did something this impactful. So I would definitely say Jay-Z Basquiat. If you haven't had a chance to see it, man, please, we're gonna have my Instagram up. Go to my Instagram, take a look at it. You're not gonna be disappointed.
And what's your Instagram name?
It's OGD with 5 underscores.
OGD with 5. Y'all make sure y'all go follow him on Instagram if you have not seen the Basquiat Jay-Z painting. It is definitely like when I wake up in the morning and open my door, going to my bathroom, that painting is like right there. And it just reminds me every time I walk outside is to go outside and be great. Because
Come on now.
you pretty much have two geniuses pretty much on the same painting. I never would have thought to line them up the
Right.
way that you did. And it's like, and just to be like, damn, my boy did that. Like I be high fiving my print and everything, like, yes, you did it. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that was one of the pieces that I didn't think about how impactful it was until after it was done, after it was sold. Because of
Mm-hmm.
course, when we're in the middle of that journey, when we're creating whatever we are creating, we so focused on getting the details right, getting everything right, presenting it the right way, and it was so much work, until it wasn't no work left to do. And
Mm-hmm.
then after it's sold, and then now you just sitting there kind of basking in the things. It doesn't hit you until it really hits you. Till stuff like this comes up,
Oh
and
yeah.
you ask questions like, "What's impactful?" and what was one of the most dynamic pieces that you've done. And yeah, it's like you say, man, to be able to say that I created something like that, it lets me know what what I'm capable of doing, and I know it ain't no limit now. It's definitely not a limit.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, I could completely agree with you. So now let's talk. Let's go ahead and talk about what's out for you now. So as of right now, you have a exhibition at Art Space.
Yes, humanity. It is a show about what your life like. It's at Art Space downtown Shreveport. That's 708 Texas Avenue. It's on the second floor. I believe they're open. I want to say from like 11, 12 ish to about 4 or 5 ish, 5, 6 maybe. But it is on the second floor. It's actually it cohabitates the gallery with Joe Bloom's
Mm-hmm.
show as well. Joe Bloom is on the first floor. His show is called Cumulus, and he is a illustrator and animator, and he has a beautiful show of work. Mine is on the second floor. Mine is a little bit more, on the adult side of
We're
things.
going to talk about that too.
he has the
Uh,
he got the kid friendly, and then mine is not so kid friendly, but it's still art at the end of the day, and art is very subjective. So you have to go in there with the open mind. I tell people that all the time because what you see might not be what you think you see,
mm-hmm.
and that's why I call it humanity because that's people take a lot of stuff at face value, but there's a deeper meaning to things, and then we have to what's real, what's not real,
Right.
Uh, but yeah, that is the show Humanity, man. I'm very, very proud to have be able to put on an exhibition. That's another one of the most impactful things I've done in my art career.
And you worked extremely hard on that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Uh,
Yes.
tell I would say this because I do sometimes feel like as an artist, and I know me, I have been an artist on many levels. Um, explain to people if you can, because some moments are more speechless than others.
Mhm.
Um, because for me personally, especially with me doing photography, I am my worst critic. I'm terrible.
Right.
I judge and critique my art from head to toe. Like I'm like beating myself up bad sometimes
Right.
about my photograph, my photography, because sometimes I'm like, oh, if I would have stood a little bit 2 inches to the left, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Maybe
totally
the
get it.
perspective would have been different, or if I would have snapped a little quicker, you know what I'm saying? So can you explain to people how hard it is, or so far as before you put something out?
So the hardest process or the hardest obstacle to get over as a creative is starting a new project. So I like to tell people that once you start something, the work is pretty much done. The
Mm,
work is pretty much gonna fall in line. It's just a matter of doing repetitively, consistently, whatever you're working on. You don't have to finish something in one sitting. Whether you do photography, whether you do painting, create music, whatever the case may be, it's just about doing the work, taking the time out to do the work. And nobody's gonna be able to critique and perfect your work like you will. A craftsman only knows their craft. You know what I'm saying? So
mhm,
it's just to me like a blacksmith. I make a sword. Ain't nobody else gonna be able to make a sword like I make a sword. But
mhm,
I got to put into my craft is the reason why nobody will be able to do what I do. So
mhm.
it is hard. It is hard to definitely overcome starting and seeing all of your projects through. But you got to remember that nobody's gonna be able to do it like you do it. Like
Come on.
it's a lot of people out here that do the same stuff. There's a lot of people in Shreveport that paint, but
Mhm,
my art is very specific to my emotions. My art is very specific to how I see the world, and I only got one set of eyes. I
mhm.
don't, you know what I'm saying. So I don't look up. I don't wake up, and my vision is somebody else's vision. Like
Right.
that's just what it is. So you gotta really to just keep it frank, man. You gotta overcome yourself. That's really what it is. You got to overcome your own doubts and fears and know that your critique is always good critique. You might feel like you're beating yourself up, but
Mm-hmm.
who knows what you're doing better than you do? So if you feel like I should have moved my subject 2 inches to the left on
Mm-hmm.
the next photo, move your subject 2 inches to the
Right.
left, and
Okay.
then go with what you got now, and know that it's only gonna get better. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be thankful for the work that you've done. We don't do that. We'll
Mm-hmm.
create something and then we'll tear it down because we feel like it's not worthy. That's
Mm-hmm.
still a body of work that you have created, no matter what. It's a photo, it's a painting, it's a song. It's okay. This is what I did. How can I do it better the next time?
Mm-hmm.
And just keep the ball rolling, man. Never stop.
Come on with the word. Look, we are passing. Let me put the cash app up here because we are passing the collection plate from Bishop OGD. So, are you working on any? Well, you still okay? So, humanity will be in art space until October. What was that date again? October
21st.
21st.
Yes.
Um, your like I said, all your paintings from the hood to the erotic is fire. Like a couple of
Thank you.
the adult pictures.
Mhm.
I'm waiting on the prints because I'm a get them.
I definitely am
I,
not
I
gonna
need
hold
I
myself
need I
back.
need a whole look. I already got a name for it, but I need the pressure collection.
Oh, that's
Listen, that's what I call it. I need the pressure collection. I need it. It's
yeah. I'm not gonna
those
hold it back.
pictures really mean something to me, and I love it. I call it you can go ahead and take the name. I call it the pressure collection.
I appreciate that.
It's them erotic pictures is precious. And I like it because I'm all about darkness.
Mhm.
So I like the darkness of it. Like it's dark, but you can still see the pressure being
Yeah,
applied.
that was a part of it. Yeah, that was a part of the because it's of course it's two different sets,
Hmm.
and it's so the dark ones were meant to be that way because of the idea for me anyway
Hmm.
was to express how sex can be fun, casual, but sometimes it's like redundant because it's
Hmm.
like you know better, you do better, and it's duality and everything. So you can be pressure in what you're doing, but you can also be wasting your time and energy because you're putting that into something that is rudimentary versus investing that in somebody that's going to give you that reciprocation. So the two sets, one was meant to be dark, and then the other one was meant to be vibrant and full of color,
Hmm.
and it was supposed to give duality to the show. Yes, there's sexual and creative energy, but it's meant to say, okay, this is what you do when you're just doing it for the sake of doing it. This
Right.
is what you do when you really trying to search and find what it means. You know what I'm saying? Like real meaning. And I mean, in a sense, both of them are pressure,
Yeah,
depending
yeah.
on how you're looking at it. You know what
Oh
I'm saying?
yeah,
Depending
yeah.
on, but it's also that's what I mean by everything you see is not what you think you see because people will see the dark ones and they'll feel like, okay, this is something I would do with my partner, my wife, you know what I'm saying, whatever the
Right.
case. And then they'll look at the color ones and be like, yeah, they just do freaky as hell, you know what I'm saying? But it's up to your interpretation. It's up to how you look at it.
Right.
But I just encourage people to, when they do look at it, really sit with it for a minute, man. 60 seconds is not a lot of time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's one thing to just look at a piece, move on to the next one. But
Hmm.
really sit there for 60 seconds and analyze the smallest details and then make your observation and then make
Hmm.
your conclusion of what it makes you feel. And then come talk to me about it if you can.
Oh yeah. Oh
Because
yeah. Most
you know
definitely.
what I'm saying? So
Most definitely. Most definitely. Um, oh gosh, I don't know what else we can talk about, man. You just like humanity is
uh,
freaking awesome. Are you working on anything else new? Or do
right
you have
now,
any more projects coming up? But you work so hard on humanity. 'Cause how many pieces is in that exhibition?
I was 42.
42. Okay, I thought it was okay. I remember when we first discussed it, it was supposed to be 30.
The goal was to do 30 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time I got done, I had
Mm-hmm.
42 pieces. And
Oh.
I didn't expect it. I did not expect it. I was so stressed out and a time
Mhm.
crunch to make the deadline, because the deadline to have everything submitted was August 4th. And
Okay.
literally by the 4th, I had 42 pieces of work, and I didn't expect it. But I had been working on stuff outside of what I had been working on in house, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. Like, I had been doing festivals. Shout out to I'm saying, Draymond with artists, um, the whole Envision team, who let me come in for 2 days and do a live painting on the scene while everybody else was in festival mode. I was just kind of focusing on the show,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to be a part of artists. I just didn't have anything to sell other than prints of old work. But I still was able to use the vibes and use the energy from everybody else around me to create. And I had a good time doing it. And it was like, I put one of those pieces in the show. And then I had collectors brought me work that I had did earlier in the year, just stuff that I had did.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, yo, let me put my piece in the show. Because the criteria for that show was any work that I had never shown in a gallery. And this was just, it just so happened to be my first gallery piece. So I mean, everything worked out, man. God is abundant. And I can't, who am I to stop God from being like, no, I got 42 for you. I ain't, you need 30, but I got 42 for you. So you know what I'm
Exceedingly
saying?
and abundantly. Shabbat. Don't
You know,
don't
so
get me started. Wow. Okay, so my other question is, how do you being an artist is sometimes we're on a roll, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we can go out and bow. Sometimes it take a little, you know what I'm saying? It's a struggle, it takes a little time. So my question is, how do you pace yourself?
you just got to know to take breaks, because everybody can say, work, don't stop. Everybody can say, I got to keep going. I got to keep creating. But man, we're humans with human bodies and human experiences. And we have to know, okay, it's time to take a break, or just know when to call it a day. Because I
Mhm.
mean, the same way that you get up and go to your 9 to 5, and you know that you got to clock in from 8 to 4 or nine to
Mhm.
five, when you come home and you work on your own craft, what's your hours? What's your time? And I mean, me and you was just talking about this, about
Right.
setting days in your weeks,
Mhm.
setting hours in your days. And even and my boy, shout out Kadavian Baylor, he just put me on game about include your vacation time in all of it too.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You can have PTO. If you got PTO in your normal job, why not have PTO in your career life
Uh-huh.
as well?
Uh-huh.
So it's one big full circle, man. You gotta know when to take a break, know when to just chill, know when to, man, just pace yourself, like you say. Um, really work on what it is that you're doing. Take a step back, admire your work, and then keep it pushing.
Okay, so wonderful advice. I needed that little piece. I needed that little piece instead of because I need that little piece because sometimes instead of criticizing my work, I need to admire it.
Mm-hmm.
So I needed I yeah, yes, Lord. I needed that. Um I forgot what my next question was. I needed that so bad. I forgot what my next question was.
It's all good.
I need that so bad. Um, do you ever how do you being that your growth from beginning to now, how do you feel about your older work?
I take it in stride, man. It's beautiful to see how far I've come from where I've come from.
Mm,
Um, because you always remember where your mind was when you created certain stuff, and that's
mm,
the beauty about art. People will see the art, whether it's old or new, and they'll wonder about where you were at in your life. But it's you don't have to always reveal that to anybody. You don't have to
mm,
always say I was in a dark place, or I was in a good place, or I was
mhm,
balling out of control, or whatever the case may be, man. It's all about giving thanks, to having whatever you had, whatever you felt, and saying, I created this. I still created something in the midst of what I was doing. And it's immortalized. Once it's done, man, it's done. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
forever. Art is forever. That's why I try to get people to understand art is differently. It's more than just a hobby. It's more than just I'm really good at painting or I'm really good at this or that, man. Art is immortalization of a moment, of an idea, and it stayed with people. That's why people collect art. They keep it, they hold on to it. You never know where a painting gonna go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like even a print, like you have a print. Let's say that you have a print and then the original painting gets shipped out to Tokyo somewhere.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know how.
Yeah.
And then people they see it out there, and then 50 years from now, you're gonna have a copy of it, and that ain't gonna be no different than a Da Vinci piece in a textbook somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing, man. It stayed with people forever. We idolize people that are dead and gone now, and one day that's gonna be us. One day we're gonna be passed
Mhm.
on. Your photography gonna be in people's studios, and they're
Yeah.
gonna speak on, you know what I'm saying, this is Ron's picture, and this is what was going on, and this how it make me feel, and I've held on to it because it means something to me. It's
Right.
sentimental, and man, people gotta wake up, man. They gotta understand. They gotta understand.
Feel you. I feel you. Oh my gosh, this is wonderful. Oh, so one more. Don't pay me no mind. I just look. I just get excited. I just get excited because we don't never. We always chop it up. We don't. We ain't never. I don't think we ever really chopped it up like this. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? So
right, right,
once
right.
again, once again, y'all, OGD. What does OGD stand for?
It's got so many different
Oh
connotations.
Lord. Next
It's
question.
well, no, it's respectable. I mean, the originality, like the very first thing was I was in college at the time, and I had been going by. This is why I said in the first part of it. Some people know me by my nickname Dizzy. That was something that came from high school. It was just me trying to be cool, whatever. And as I was, progressing in age, I hit a point in 25 where I feel like as a black man, I had accomplished a lot. I felt like it's, there's a lot of anger,
Mhm,
there's a lot of trauma, there's a
mhm,
lot of connections that you have to make with your childhood. There's a lot of pain that you have to overcome. It's a lot of things that you have to grow up and decide to do different in life.
mhm.
And 25 was that age for me. 25 was the age to say, this is what I want my life to look like. So therefore, I consider myself no different than a person who calls themselves an OG because that's what OGs do. OGs lead. OGs tell people, hey man, don't do that because I did that and it
Mhm,
ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? And even though
mhm,
I was still young in college, 25 is not old at all. At the
mhm.
time, 25 is, in the setting of where we're at in college, 25 is older when you're around people that's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 and
Mhm.
going through school. You know what I'm saying? Because I started college in 2010,
Mhm.
2011. So to be 25, we 2015. I got some stripes up under me. I know a little something about Northwestern State. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I'm trying to lead people, trying to do stuff, make changes around the university. Like it was more so about becoming a person that people can look up to, a
Right.
person that people can feel inspired by. The same way that I talk about things now, I was learning how to be that well spoken then, reading the books and watching the, you know what I'm saying, and trying to invest in my mind and look, get knowledge of self. And this is how we gonna carry ourselves, you know what I'm saying, become that brand. And before House of OGD was even thought of,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying, we created that. And then it just ended up becoming I guess a character, I guess, that is a part of my personality, but ultimately it's who I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm the older, more sophisticated version of Dizzy. Hence OG
Mhm.
Dizzy. So it could be that's why it's got so many connotations. People make jokes about it. I've had people call me OG Dizzy. I've had people call me oh goddamn. I've had people just say the name like all together, like Ogden, or people try to come up with their own versions, and I just let them because I mean, it's not about what you know what I'm saying, it's what you answer to. So,
Absolutely.
it's I don't put too much thought into it, man. It's just that's who I am. OGD is a part of me, and we transitioning more into using the first and last name because I am proud of my name. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
that's a part of it too. So ain't no telling how it's gonna play out.
That's what's up. So, any last words for us? Any you got? Do you have any last words or motivation for younger artists such as myself, or anybody that's in the art game? Period. Here is your time. Let loose.
I say first things first, man. Get to it. Don't don't let anybody tell you that you need to do something different. That you need to not do something. If it's burning within your soul, bro, you need to get to it. No matter what it is. If you want to make music because you feel like you got a passion for it, and you feel like you listen to certain songs or you listen to certain beats or whatever that people just ain't really understanding, get to it. If you a painter and you got ideas and you feel like your work can be felt, get to it. If you do photography, pick up a camera and take some photos. Get to it. Like don't because the world is not gonna wait for you. Nobody is gonna wait for you. You gotta get out your own way. You gotta get out your own head and you gotta get to it. And that's love. Like that's coming from a place of love. I don't want people to think uh I don't ever want anybody to think that I'm big headed, bro. I
Mm-hmm.
have been I will always be humble. I will always be coming from a place of love with anything that I ever talk about or any type of gems that I drop.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even believe in the whole you got to pay for this. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people what I experience because ultimately that's what I want to do as an
Mm-hmm.
artist. Yeah, I want to impact the world and I want people to feel and I want people to be inspired and awestruck by the art that I create, but I also want to educate and inspire the young artists, the
Mm-hmm.
10-year-old, the 10-year-old, the 11-year-old right now that wants to do something and doesn't know how to start. They
Mm-hmm.
don't know where, you know what I'm saying? They just doodling, looking at the PlayStation, drawing anime characters or
Yep.
whatever. And I want them to turn into who I am today. And like, you know what I'm saying? And keep the ball rolling because that's how we keep the world rotating. You got to get to it. Everybody got something to do. You just got to figure out what it is that you want to do. And my next thing after that is just stay true to yourself. Yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Stay true to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
not anybody else. Figure out who you are as a person. Figure out what you like, what you don't like,
Mm-hmm.
what you love, what you don't love.
Mm-hmm.
And then just give yourself that love and affection, man. Take care of yourself because it's gonna come back to you tenfold. You know what I'm saying? It's in the word. If you some people not just as spiritual as I am, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the word. I believe in God and I try not to delve too deep into it because some people be feeling like we on different tiers, even with just God as a thing. It's on people got different levels, but I say that I am that I am to me means I exist, and this is why I exist. And my version of I am is to love, create art, inspire, have conversations like this, make people feel like, man, look, that dude right there knows something. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, yeah, stay true to yourself and get to it, man, because it's the world is your oyster.
Hallelujah. Man, that look, that right there, that right there, those words right there was awesome in the scene. We're gonna go ahead and end the interview on that note. So make sure y'all follow my little big bro Dominique McLemore. Instagram OGD five slash underscores.
Yeah, five
Five
underscores.
OGD five underscores. Make sure you go to Art Space. I forgot the hours just that quick, but make sure you go check out his exhibition at Art Space. It is up until October 31st, Humanity. So just because you missed the reception does not mean that you missed the exhibition. So please, by all means,
Yeah.
go check it out. Take a date because the pressure collection is listen.
Hey, it's gonna
The
start some
pressure,
conversations.
the pressure collection is a look. Awesome. I like I say, awesome job. You did a very awesome job. 42 pieces. You fight like you didn't miss a beat. I
Thank
would
you.
definitely give you that from the time we talked when you started and I was checking on you. Like You did not miss a beat.
I
Like
appreciate that. Thank you.
seriously. Like, thank you everybody for tuning in. Ron Smith, Ron Smith now, run and run. You got to get on here, Ron Smith. So make sure you holler at me because I got to have my artists. I got to have my artist crew on here, period, because I'm not gonna let not a damn podcast leave us artists out of anything. You hear
Come
me?
on now. There you go.
I look, OGD, you know how I get down. You know I ain't playing. You know I ain't playing. So Ron Smith, holler at me so we can set something up because your work is awesome. Your work is awesome as well. So thank you for everybody that tunes in to the Also Dope Network. You can check out interviews that I've done with other people on the Also Dope Network YouTube page. I've had a lot of my battle rap because y'all know I did several battle rap. I've done several battle rap interviews, so I got my battle rap interviews on there and all kind of stuff. So y'all know I'm back. I do not know when I'm doing interviews, so they gonna be pop up. You never, the killer part is you never know who I'm gonna pop up with. So make sure y'all tune in.
Yeah.